let's talk about blogging. Remember, I already mentioned companies that blog get 55% more traffic on average. The original word right here, web log, that's what they called them in the beginning. I'm keeping a log of things on the web. It's a web log. Now, Gen Y shortened it so we don't have to spend so much time pronouncing the word down to one syllable. It's a blog. And the idea is regular entry of, whatever's relevant to us and more so our target audience. Now, the neat thing about a blog is that you don't have to be a programmer anymore. You don't need Java or CSS or HTML. If you can edit Microsoft Word, you can run a blog. So let me show you what a blog looks like on the back end. I'll take you to my own blog. So here we are at Dialogue Consulting. You've got the URL right on the front page if you want to go visit this. I try to write something at least once a month for a business audience that would be useful. Google Plus is a new thing we'll talk about a little bit more. This blog post was everything you ever want to know about Google Plus. So here is, notice, right in the major navigation, blog, and also whatever I'm doing on social media, upper right, above the fold. If you're going to do social, make it real obvious for people on your website. Now, that's not my point. Let's go to the back end here. The back end, here is the back of the blog. And so we are now in what's called edit mode. And you can see right here, I've put a title. And down here, I put my content. And now, if you want to take something like this word engineers and make it bold and italic, you click the B and then you click the I. If you want to add a Google Plus icon and you've already got it on your computer, click the Add Media and upload it to your blog. Here's your text justification, bullets and numbers, and my favorite button of all, right there, is called Paste from Word, which is to say if you've got something in Microsoft Word, you can have it online in your blog with a copy-paste done. So a blog is not a technological thing. That's why there's a couple 100 million of these. Now, the thing is, this blog engine, it's called WordPress, and it can run today not just a blog, but a whole website. So the entire website is actually powered by WordPress. So there, I've got a home page with things like videos and texts and links and all sorts of fun media. Then I have a speaking calendar. I want to keep my speaking calendar online. Well, guess what? WordPress is one of these open source software things, and people have built thousands and thousands of plugins. Almost any function you might want to have on your website is available as a plugin, and I'm talking free stuff here, into WordPress. So I want to have a speaking calendar online. Now, in the past, when I booked a new speaking engagement, I would put it in my calendar, and then I'd go onto my website and put it on my website calendar. Now, they're one and the same because this calendar widget is powered by Google from the cloud. So whenever I add something here, it syncs to there. If I add something there, it syncs to here. So now I have one source instead of two. These are the new kinds of technologies we can make use of. Now, let me show you editing of WordPress. So let's say I want to change some words on my home page. Now, this is recorded real time just so you can get a sense of it. I don't have to call my hosting guy and get an estimate. I just log in myself, non-techie, into WordPress. I land on what's called the dashboard. I scroll down here to the list of pages. You'll notice when we get to pages, up pops a edit button for all the pages. Now we have the list of all the pages. Whenever we hover by one of the page names, it brings up an edit button for that page. So let's go up to the home page and click Edit. Click. Now we land on editing the page titled Home, and we can now select text, copy, paste, change the video, add new media. So in this case, I just type in some changes. I click Preview to make sure they're okay, or I go straight to Update. Now, for a lot of organizations, it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and who knows how many dollars to make a change to the home page, let alone anything else. Here, it has been $0, and 55 seconds later, instead of helping organizations, it clicks the refresh button and B2B companies. That's how easy it is to run a blog. So the reason that there are 200 million blogs / WordPress kind of websites is because anybody can do this. But now, second question. What happens if somebody visits my website today? Remember the graph we looked at earlier? They're not on their desktop. They're on their smartphone. Well, guess what? I don't have the same number of pixels here. I've got more pixels, fewer pixels, more, fewer. What happens when somebody visits my website? So now we add a second concept called responsive design that we overlay on WordPress. So now watch, my website responds to the number of pixels. So here I'm dragging the browser to make it smaller, still on a desktop. We bump up against the edge here, the video will get smaller. By the way, as we get wider, the menu can expand to all the words. If it gets narrower, it has to change to a drop-down list, which of course you could click and then it will bring the words. So I need to see the words, I'll click right there and it'll bring down those words. Now we're not yet quite to the size of a smartphone, so let's keep going. Eventually 3-column layout won't be possible. And when we go to 1-column layout, did you notice the video got bigger again? Until it's out of pixels right there and it shrinks. The text is not shrinking because we need that text to still be readable without a whole bunch of pinching and zooming here on the smartphone. And so if somebody visits my website on the smartphone, the web server responds and lays it out in a perfectly readable, okay, it's single column and you have to click the thing to drop down the menu. But you know what? Doesn't matter where you're coming from. Oh, and if you choose to watch that video, you might tip the phone sideways, in which case the web server responds by both rotating the video and resizing it to fit the number of pixels. So we can now build a website on a fabulous, world-supported platform called WordPress that's free, that will run not just the blog, but the whole website, and we can do it in this responsive mode, so it doesn't matter what technology people use to visit our site. So that's where we're going. That's how my website works today. And by the way, the other reason I love WordPress is because it's what we call a content management system. Once you have your WordPress-based website, or at least WordPress-based blog, you don't have to manage the geeks anymore. You get to manage content, right? So you can be faster, more responsive than in the past. And unlike the way we built websites in the past, where maybe they were custom coded and one vendor knew how to do it, well, now we've got something that a lot of people know how to do. So if we go with one vendor and we don't like their services, we can switch to another. WordPress is a widely known content management system.